Hey Film Buffs, welcome back to Film Feature 43. The Russo brothers seem to have confirmed that there's a spy among us in the 5th season of Stranger Things, and there's a lot of theories floating around out there. I just want to throw my hat in the ring and say who I thought it was. So the obvious answer seems to be number 8, Callie, who showed up and starts putting these thoughts in Hopper's head and even trying to convince 11 to sacrifice herself along with her, whether or not that would happen. And that seems like something that the hive mind would try to talk 11 into doing.
When the Upside Down vanishes, so will we.
So it kind of makes her an obvious person to be the spy, but I think that's a red herring like a lot of mystery movies.
Everybody's a suspect!
I think that Callie is the easy answer, and there's actually a better choice. The choice I'm thinking is the group's buffoon, the person that no one takes seriously, and was supposed to be written off after the first season, but has made it all the way to the end, and that is Steve the Hare Harrington. My theory is when Steve was bitten in Season 4 by the Demobats, he was turned into a Demopire, or a Vampagorgon, whatever you want to call it. I think they transferred some of the Mind Flayer's essence into Steve, and he's been a sleeper cell this whole time. Specifically talking about that scene, later on in the season, we see there are thousands of bats that attack Eddie and are kind of keeping watch over the Creel house, and we only see about 10 of them attack these unarmed teenagers after Steve was bitten. It kind of seems like the Mind Flayer's kind of pulling his punches in that scene and letting these teens escape because now he has a spy that no one would suspect. And then fast forward to Season 5, we see him antagonizing Jonathan, which he hasn't done since the first season when Jonathan was taking those creepy pictures. He kind of let the Nancy Jonathan thing happen in Season 2 and hasn't really talked about it. You can kind of see it's bubbling in him a little bit, but he's really antagonizing Jonathan this season, as well as antagonizing Justin, to the point where they break the walkie-talkie, almost leading to catastrophe, which seems like something a sleeper agent would try to do. Steve also crashes his beloved car to save 11 to follow the Demogorgon into the Upside Down, which is seen as altruism. He's sacrificing himself, sacrificing the car, but him crashing it into the bridge actually strands them in the Upside Down, which seems pretty convenient. And on top of that, finding Elle might be altruistic and helping the group, but what better way to keep your enemy's plans in mind is to keep your enemy as close as possible, so Steve can be the spy, finding 11 and knowing what the plan's going to be all along, relaying that back to the hive mind. Finally, whose idea is it to take the tower into Dimension X through the bridge? Well, it's Steve's, of course, meaning that I think like the Demodog attack in Season 2, when Will sent the soldiers into the tunnels and the Demodogs killed them and invaded Hawkins' lab, the tower through the bridge is going to be a trap. So that's my theory with Steve being part of the hive mind, being a secret agent for the Mind Flayer. I don't think Henry's going to be the ultimate big bad. I think the Mind Flayer is going to be, which I talked about in a different theory whenever Season 4 came out. I also think that all the numbered people are going to get together and defeat the Mind Flayer, and number 8 is going to die in the process, and Will might even die. And the Russo brothers seem to show during interviews that Steve is going to die.
Levinson won.
Oh! There it is! That's how Stranger Things ends!
I think that's a self-sacrifice to get rid of the secret agent with the Mind Flayer, and it's also got the most emotional impact. Let me know down below what you think, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.